Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for coming. And as I would like to start off with, be sure you are liked, subscribed, your notification bell is turned on, and you are sharing these wonderful episodes. So, how is everyone doing today? I hope you are doing well. You're fine. I hope your day was exciting as mine because I do. Hey, Jenny B, how are you? Um, oh, okay. Um, Thank you. It was great to see you and for you to be in the chat. So, anyway, I hope your day was wonderful, exciting. Yes, I'm glad it was fantastic. Um, so, the big reveal. What was it that I didn't share about my birthday that you guys did not know about? Well, cliffhanger. You're going to have to wait a few more moments. Hey, Corey, how are you? Nice to meet you again. Great to see you in the chat. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. Um, Feel free to leave a comment below on something you want to talk about while I'm gathering something for you to see. If you have not, if you have not been following me on Instagram, then you missed the picture I posted. Um, and if you want to know what the Instagram is, it's at btdllc, and also that information is in the description section. But I am going to tell you what it is that I was so excited about today to tell you about. All right, you ready? Bam. Do you see that? Those are pictures of carnation. That is a picture of carnations. So, yes, today, what made my birthday so exciting is the fact that I gave back. It was just a spur of the moment thing, and it was something that I just said, you know what, I want to do it because I did it years ago, but this time I just wanted to do it because I was just excited. And so I gave every patient in the morning and my coworkers, whether I am a fan of anybody or not, I all gave them a carnation. So a lot of them were surprised, and a lot of them were, they had already witnessed it because I had given it to them. They were there for like years and years ago. But it was just, it to me, it was like the topping of the ice cream on top of the cake. And I enjoyed it. And you know because I'm shy, I kind of like was trying to give it to them on the sneaky tip, but you couldn't do that because they're like, "What's this?" And I'm just like, "Oh, well, it was my birthday yesterday. I want you to have this." They're like, "Your birthday, and you're giving me something? Shouldn't I be giving you something?" I'm like, "No, it's okay." you know. Um, oh, I'm trying. I'm trying. I feel like it's every day is a challenge because in my mind, I think about all of the things that I'm not doing, but most people see all of the things that I am doing. And so that's just something I have to work on my own. And also to remind myself that perfection is impossible. Now, when I say perfection is impossible, remember these concepts were made from different people who put defining words and meanings on things. Oh, listen to this. We have a caller. Let me see. Hold on a second. Hello.
Hi, happy belated birthday.
Thank you. Say hello to YouTube. Everybody, you're on YouTube right now. I have you on there.
Oh, hello, YouTube. How is everybody?
This is my aunt, guys. She's from Virginia, and she said we all want to welcome her to Hello World. Hey, thank you for your call. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, anytime, anytime. I hope you have many, many, many years more to come and celebrate your birthday and be safe and many good things come your way.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Oh, hi, Uncle William.
Happy birthday. When is the wedding?
The wedding? Oh, gosh. I don't want to get married.
I need a nephew.
I don't want to get married. Maybe I'll adopt. That's probably the best thing that'll happen. Uncle William, you're on my Hello World show.
Hello World, how are you?
That's my uncle, guys.
I like the blog. What is the blog, or just a blog?
You're actually live stream on YouTube right now.
Oh, cool. Audio. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. I love your interviews and everything. Love your show.
Thank you. I hope that is encouraging. Well. I hope that is encouraging right now, because I think, like, the whole idea is to encourage people so that we don't feel ashamed of the things that we go through if we're alone or think we're alone,
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's very cool. I love it. I would love to do a show also, but maybe next time I will call you. We will get together and try to you will interview me and then we can get something together.
Oh, for sure. I'm game for that. We'll figure out what you want to talk about.
Mm-hmm. That will be cool. Wonderful. Well, have a wonderful night and continue success, and I'll call you. Happy birthday.
All right. Thank you. Say goodbye to Hello World, everybody.
Goodbye, Hello World. Bye-bye.
See you guys later.
Bye-bye.
Bye. You see, guys, that was so unexpected. They don't know. I don't believe they know that I was actually on live with you guys. Let me go back into the chat. So Clem says people usually get, but you gave unbelievable. Only special people do that on their birthday. Congrats. Well, I don't think that is special. I think, when you're a baby, you're a gift to your parents, right? And it seems like once that gift withers away, we just keep on sucking you guys dry. Like, Mommy, I want this. Daddy, I want this. And there's no thank you. But this is my way to say thank you to all the people. And you never know. It might have encouraged somebody that might have been having a bad day. And yes, I gave to the men too. I was kind of concerned on whether if the men would want it or not, but all of them took it. So I was like, okay, and I guess because it's a carnation, and, maybe later on down the road, if I ever when I reach my final destination, as far as monetary wise, I'll do a little bit more, so that people be like, ooh, that was extra special. I know I'm going way above it, but I don't have to do it. Yes, and I understand I don't have to do it, but the fact of the matter is these are things that we should be doing for each other all the time. It shouldn't be a surprise and stuff. You know what I mean? This should be something that we kind of just do because we're humans and we care for each other. So that was my little reveal for today as far as what I did that was extra special for my birthday. It was also wonderful too, because there are people that I haven't spoken to in a very long time who actually called me. And I didn't even think they remembered that it was my birthday. So like that put another layer of ice cream on top of the cake, which was nice. And then I forced some people to sing happy birthday to me. Then, of course, I had my favorite two people in the world, Maddie and Emma. They FaceTimed me and sang. So those little things, like, it just made it special. And I don't need a birthday card. I don't need a cake. I don't need any of those things. All I need is for human interaction. You know what I mean? So Corey, you have anything you want to add or you want to talk about? Because I know you're good at that stuff. I saw your latest post about that activist getting arrested. Did he get out yet? That's a good thing to know. So here's a good question for you guys. What are you willing to die for? Okay, think about it. What are you willing to die for? Oh, okay, cool. That's cool. What would you be willing to die for? If your life was on the line right now, what would you be willing to die for? Or if you had a choice in the matter, said you have to die today, but it has to be for a cause, what would you be willing to die for? Me, let's see. What? He said an activist was just found in the Ohio River. Who do you think took that activist out? That's crazy. That's crazy. It's like, you see how history is repeating itself? Doesn't this remind you of the movement years ago when we were trying to free African Americans from the bondage of not being able to vote and not being separated and having equal rights? Like that, don't we realize that history keeps repeating itself until we cut it out, until we stop the cycle? Like, I have a quote in my book. It says, I know, like, I'm paraphrasing now, but we all bleed the color red. So what in the world makes us think we're that different? Like, my skin may be a little darker than someone else's, but we still bleed red, right? So we're not that different. We all have different DNA, but the blood is still the same color. Yes, it may have a different makeup chemistry wise, but it still is the same color, which means that we came from the same place. Therefore, there should be no reason why we hate each other just because of the color of your skin. The police did it. That's crazy. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy to think that the people that are protecting and serving are the same ones that are giving the lethal injection of death to people who are just outraged with certain actions of their fellow co-workers. You know, think about it. What are you willing to die for? Me, I am willing to die for a person who may not have had a life like mine. Let's just say if they haven't, like, I don't want to die. Trust me, I don't want to die. But if someone was able to get into my shoes and to live my life right now, because I feel like I'm blessed. And if they've never had that feeling of being in a place of peace, I think everybody deserves that. So I would give my life for someone that never had that ever, just for them to experience that and to have that happiness and that joy that I often experience on a daily basis. And I'm thankful for that because it wasn't like that always. It was never like that always. And I think we all can agree that there's been times and points in our lives where there was no joy, there was no happiness, there was no peace. So, yes, we all experience it. Yes, it's happened to me before. Yes, that means I'm human just like you. You know, that's what I would be willing to die for. Anybody want to care to share what they would be willing to die for? Comment below, let me know. And while you're doing that, remember to like, subscribe, share, turn on your notification bell. Okay, Corey's willing to die for freedom and for justice. So there we go, people. It's pure humanitarianism, and I'm probably making up words, that we are all so far on the same page that we would be willing to give our lives for someone else, to have someone else experience something that they may not have ever experienced or may, up until this point, may have never experienced. What are you guys willing to die for? If you had to, or even if you had a choice, because sometimes there's choices that we make. We have a choice to live or die every day. And I think the words that we speak in our head add up to how long the length of our life and the quality of our life. So it's important to understand that what you think, what you breathe, what you allow in your system equals the quality of life that you will live. So if you're not having a good quality of life, fix your mind, change your patterns, change your thought process. You have to dig, like, trust me when I say that I hadn't been this way for a long time. I had to dig myself out. Okay? And I can admit that, yes, from time to time, I don't have perfect days, but I can tell you that I don't have terrible days anymore. At least now I don't have terrible days. And I intend on that being that way for a very long time. What are you guys willing to die for? Don't be afraid. See, that's the thing. Like, we don't like to share things when it turns personal. Maybe you won't be willing to die for anything. You could also say that too. Good, good. If you say you're not willing to die for nobody, that's all right too, because it's a choice that we have, and we have to respect each other's choices in life. Just because a choice that someone makes doesn't line up with what you think or with the majority, it doesn't mean that they're wrong. It just means that they're using their free will the way that they intend or felt like doing. So respect it. Whether you like it or not, respect it. This is Once we respect each other more, then more people will be willing to talk and to let out whatever emotions that they've been holding back for so long. Now, the disclaimer is there are people in this world, a very small percentage, I believe, that would refuse to change. And then you just have to leave them alone. But for the majority that are on the cusp of coming over, that's where we come in, people. That's where we come in. Now, I would I be willing to give my body to science and other? Heck no. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion. I came in this world with my eyeballs, my fingers, my blood, everything. I don't care. You can drain it out when you bury me, but you leaving everything else with me. I want it. If that's the one selfish thing I do in this life, that's it. I'm taking everything that can go into that casket down under. It's coming with me. I'm not donating a thing. No way. No, 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 no. It's not on my driver's license, so don't even try. I want to go down with everything. That's just me. Maybe you want to donate your body for other things. That's fine. That's your opinion. But shoot, if there's one selfish thing that I want to do, that's it. Give me everything I came with. Give me everything I came with. That's hilarious. Oh, sometimes I crack myself up. So, what are you willing to die for? Who are you willing to die for? If it is a person that you're willing to die for, what are you willing to give up? If you had a choice right now between life and death, or if you had a choice between living a privileged life or a life of peace, which would you choose? Choose wisely, because not every silver spoon has a perfect life. My kids, for sure, I would do anything to make sure they were happy, safe, and comfortable. Amen. And that's what every parent should do. But Jenny, there are some parents that will not die for their kids at all. I was on Instagram the other day and I read about there's a show called Love and Hip Hop. So I read an article about one of the stars on there, and she was arrested for slamming her 13-year-old daughter's head into either a locker or something that she did, or into a wall, something. And this is because she was under the influence. I even think that when you're under the influence, you still have a little bit of, I can choose to do right or wrong. I think there's a little bit still in there of that choice, because you got, I don't know. I've never been under the influence of any substance besides alcohol. But even when I was under the assistance or under the influence of alcohol, I still was very logical in my thinking. You know what I mean? I think sometimes I was more logical in thinking when I was abusing alcohol. And when I say abusing alcohol, this was socially, like at parties or something like that. Never by myself, or just doing it because I've never done that, thankfully. But you know, she slammed her daughter's head into, like, first thing I could think of is the trauma that that child has. Now, your parents are supposed to be the people that you can run to for anything. Now, to take that away from a child where they have no type of protection, ugh. And then you wonder why people are not trustworthy, don't trust themselves, don't trust anything or anyone. What can I say? Being a parent is, and I'm not a parent, but just from the perspective of someone who has parents, um, when you take away that security, it does a lot. You know what I mean? You kind of basically are like pulling the carpet from underneath somebody. Where like, okay, let's do an analogy. So like, let's just say you're mountain climbing without the protective ropes. So if you miss a rock or if the rock is loose, you don't have anything down there to grab you or pick you up. And let's just say the support was there and then all of a sudden it's gone. Once you fall, you have no idea where or how you're going to land. And that's how a child would think if you if a parent were to violate that trust. And then, it's not necessarily their fault when they grow up and lash out in different ways that you can't imagine, i.e., drugs, i.e., destructive behavior, i.e., just being terrible people, i.e., murder. I'm not condoning anybody's behavior because at the end of the day, we do have free will to decide right and wrong, but it does not help if you don't have that protection or that somebody telling you, it's going to be okay. You can cry on my shoulder. If there's anybody in this world, you can cry on my shoulder because I'm here to help you. I'm here to protect you. I'm here to be that blanket that you need whenever you're lost or anything like that. These are the things that people need, and these are the things that kids need from very small. I think for smaller children, it's so important to um, reinforce positive behavior and energy. Again, I'm not a parent, but I can imagine how busy things get from juggling jobs to trying to have a personal life if you try, and then dealing with children. Children don't understand that mommy and daddy just are tired. All they see is, yay, my support system is here. Now I want to jump on you. And I missed you so much all day. I just want to gravitate to you. I want to hug you. I want to squeeze you. I want to take up all your time. You know, kids don't know that until they get to our age when it's too late. But I strongly believe that if you raise a child in as good and positive environment as possible, the hard work that you put in will come back to you in 7 to 10 fold. When your child comes and shows you a good report card, or when your child comes and buys you their first time having money buying you a gift. You know what I mean? Like I can only imagine like when I was able to afford things, how my parents probably felt when I actually purchased something with my own money and not theirs. You know? I'm pretty sure that has to be a wonderful feeling. I'm pretty sure it does. Um, so just think you will reap the benefits and you will reap the reward as long as you hang in there and be the best parent that you can be. Um, and for parents who are the best that they can be, and the children turn out way different from the way you raised them, there's where free will comes in. But trust and believe those kids or that child knows right from wrong, and they probably feel guilty for not treating you right, for not protecting you, for not, being showing gratitude for the things that you've done. And you know what too, like I don't think you have to do cartwheels and do all these crazy things for a child to be happy. I think the fact that you showing them love will make them happy enough. All of these extra stuff, they're bonuses. And I think kids should not think that the bonuses are equating to what is love of you loving them. I don't think that at all. I think the bonus should be like, well, because I love you, these are the things that you're getting. You don't need them, you don't deserve them, but because I love you, I want you to experience these things. I remember just simply going to the park. That was like a trip. You could have said we packed up and went to Disneyland, you know? Going to the Statue of Liberty, which was local. That was just like, you know what I mean? Like these are things that, you parents may think that kids need these big, 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 glorious, grandiose things, but they don't. A kid's not gonna know a kid doesn't know the value of money anyway. So how would they know the value of a big trip versus a small trip? These are just things that go on in your head. It's not them. Corey says true, the simplest things and most times the greatest. Shopping by and dropping off money, but not spending time with your children isn't good. Money can always be recouped. Time is priceless. Absolutely. I have a T-shirt, and I want you guys to tell me if I should actually print it. It says "Family Time, Priceless," and it just has a picture of a family at a picnic with the picnic scenery in the background. What do you think? Should I make that T-shirt? You tell me. But again, I'm glad you said family because I don't care how a family is made. Um, it doesn't matter. But I think as long as the people that are in that family, that nucleus, is is showing a lot of love, support, nobody's gonna be like, oh gosh, my childhood was terrible because whatever. Like for me, my parents were great to me. We went on trips all over the world and we did things that, a lot of people, I'm sure, that I'm not even going to think about other people, but my parents did a lot of things for us. But the simplest things I do remember and stick out the most, going to like the botanical gardens. That was like, I don't know where we went or if that was local or in New York or not, but just those simple things of just going to the garden. And I didn't have to go on, but see, that's me. I didn't have to go on a roller coaster to have fun. Um, again, that's just me. But like, I think, the less we mm, glorify material and focus on the spiritual and emotional level, the more whole we can become, right? Materialism did not come into play until somebody said, oh, I can make millions of dollars off of this. And now I'm going to mass produce it at a low value and charge people way more than what the value market is so that they can say they had fun. Get it? A lot of people are making money off of the time that we could be spending with our family. Like, another example, and I know we all have to work in order to survive, but what if we survived and then worked? That's a hard pill to swallow because I'm talking to myself too. Like, what if I solely lived my life off of just surviving and then working? Would that be logical for me? Would I be able to live and be comfortable still? But what is comfort? Comfort to me is, I don't need much. I don't need much. And before I used to have it all. Like I had it all. Like I had diamonds for days. I had watches, I had clothes, I had everything. All of those things were like wonderful to me. But when I added up the cost, I was like, shoot, I could have put that money somewhere else. Now, like you see me, you don't hardly see me with jewelry on. These are things that I did to support. I supported a vendor with that, and I just And I'm not saying that buying things are bad, but sometimes we work so hard to try to, you know, give people the best materialistically, that we lose the time that we could have been balancing, maybe working and spending time and creating those memories. Surviving versus thriving. I don't know. I mean, like, these are just things that I'm throwing out there, you know. Some of the clothes that I have, they're probably the same, like, they're probably like 10 years or older, some of my clothes. And I can't remember the last time I shopped. I mean, even when it comes to the t-shirts, I'm frugal on myself. Like, I'll make t-shirts, but I'm like, I'm not wearing that because someone else could buy it. I don't want to take away, or I don't want to, give myself that whatever. But I also have to remember I need to advertise my company whenever I can. So I'll get a t-shirt or two. But trust and believe, I'll wear those t-shirts until they fall apart, until there's holes underneath the arm. But yeah, like, I used to have everything you could think of. Money used to be big to me. I still like money. Trust me, I do like money because of the things that I could do to help other people benefit. Billionaire Warren Buffett wears clothes. Exactly. And that's why he is a billionaire. If you think theoretically, a lot of the wealthiest people in the world rock the most common things that we see. But yet, the poorest people in the world rock the things that they can't afford so that they can stay indebted to a program that was never made to protect or care for us or nurture us. How in the world does debt make you feel good physically? It does not. It makes you stressed because, good Lord, I have to pay this bill. The interest rates are off the roof. I got to do this. I got to do that. It takes away. It takes away. It eats at you. Debt eats at you. I know it does. I know it does because it does it to me. Like, when I was in debt, it does it to me. And debt for me is when, I have to think about, okay, I might be living paycheck to paycheck. That's debt to me. Or like, oh, I'm not saving as much as I could. That's debt to me. So thankfully I'm not in the red. Thank God, I don't have to be anxious about that. But think about it, guys. Like, if we focus less, oh Lord, if we put less emphasis on trying to please people materialistically, maybe we could show up more and be present more and be in the now more. And people can appreciate and get to know you more, get to understand. And then you can understand who you are more because you're not focusing on the race of trying to keep up. Again, there's nothing wrong with having nice things, providing nice things, doing nice things. I don't think there's anything wrong with that because I'm a big person of, like, giving things to people and I love doing that. So I'm a big on that. I like to just make somebody smile just because they didn't think that it could ever happen. I like that. But I'm not racing to try to do it. You understand what I'm saying? That's the difference. I'm not racing to try to do it. The best success is being able to freely do what you love. Absolutely. If you have children, guys, even for adults even for me, who I'm an adult person now, and I'm still somebody's child. Um, Prepare your kids for a future of non-worrying about money. To prepare your child means that today, if they don't have a bank account, I don't care how old they are, if they don't have a bank account, now's the time to get them into their piggy banks and to take them on a trip to the bank. Let them see what it is to save money and how, when that money increases, how they can expand their mind on how they can use that money for the betterment. Let them understand the value. Once a child understands the value of money, I think that's when you should purpose them to start saving. And even before, you can start saving before them, if they don't know what money is at that time. That's fine. But this is how we create a future of not being dependent on credit. Because now they start thinking differently and they start thinking more like, I can have my own. I don't have to worry about credit card debt. I don't have to worry about outright financing a vehicle or mortgaging a home because I know how to make the money to buy these things outright and I'm not indebted to anybody. Now that's a dangerous tool. Let me tell you, if our kids start being raised that way, the government will hate you, right? Because I'm sorry, like, I hope I don't get in trouble for this. But if the government doesn't have you in a chokehold financially, you are a threat because now you're not leaning on them. You're standing on your own 2 feet. Your shoulders are high. You are in command. You are in control, right? When's the last time any of us felt like we were in control? Think about it. When was the last time you felt like you were in control of anything? Get back your control by becoming whole, number one. Number two, securing a future which is always tomorrow. Securing your future which is always tomorrow. And commanding what it is that you want and desire. It's never too late. I don't care who you are. It is never too late to turn the tide and from dependent to independent. It's never too late. It's all here. It starts here. And then once it's here, it'll flow through your heart and out. People in Asia have longer lifespans than people in the States is because they aren't hung up on materialistic possession or passions. Spirituality rules the day. The science of detachment, less is more. It's true. It's true. We're chained to cable bills. We're chained to cell phone bills. We're chained to mortgages. We're chained to rent. We're chained to, I was going to say grocery, but we need to eat. So minus that. We're chained to car notes. Guys, like all of these things are bonuses. But do we have to have them? No. To live a meaningful life? No. You don't. You really don't. Chained to keeping up with the Joneses? Yes. We don't. You don't need cable. All you need is Wi-Fi. You really don't need a cell phone. All you need is a landline. Why? I'm crazy? Well, think about it. Like when I know everybody here, we survived just from payphones and waiting till you got home to make a phone call. I mean, I know it's not possible now, but think about it. These are things that we're chained to. Hey, Body Garbage. Thank you for coming in. I shouted you out the other time. Guys, I'm going to pause for a second and say holla to Body Garbage. She is the soaper who will help keep your skin cleansed, natural body things. She does not use the parabens, or whatever it is that the soaps have that will pretty much decay our bodies and give us irritations in our bodies. You have to call in one day so we can talk about that. Thank you so much for joining in. Wow, my cable bill was never $300. No, 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 no. It would never do that. No way, no way, no way, no how. I'm sorry. I'm too. No, 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 no. I could do a lot with $300. No way. No way. Way. No, no. Shoot, I'll freely tell you, my cable bill is like $70. And I feel like cutting that off because I don't even turn the TV on anymore. I just use internet. So I'm probably going to call them and ask them how much it is for just internet alone. Car notes. Having a car is a privilege. You don't need a car. You really don't. It's a privilege. Yeah, it might take a little longer to get around. I know I know you don't have it. You on the right path, sis. Like, and trust me when I say we don't need a car, I'm probably kicking myself 100 times for even saying that foolishness in my head because, like, I'm already conditioned to doing things at certain times. But like, okay, let's just say, all right, okay, I need a car. I'm not gonna lie, I do need a car, but do I need the latest car? No, I could still be comfortable in a $3,000 car that's been used, that's over 10 years old. I still can be, as long as it's functioning, it can get me to point A to point B. The heat works, the air conditioning works, the windows work, the radio works. That's all you need. Who needs recliners? Who needs the sunroof? We don't need it. You paid your car 3 to 4 years ago and going to run that thing to the ground. There you go, 13 years old. Keep hope alive. Keep that car running. You know what I mean? Like, these are just choices that, I personally made. But did I need, now let me tell you, when I did go and purchase my car, I was not going for the intent of luxury. I was going for the intent of save gas. But the way it worked out, I got a little luxury, which I'm happy for, but I'm not paying for that luxury. I worked it out that I'm paying for the car for whatever I know I want to pay for. So, that's differences. So, when you're going to negotiate, but did I need that car note? No, I did not need that car note. Since I'm in the city, I use the trains. That's good. That's good. Like, another thing that we're chained to, our cell phones. It's, they made us believe that a cell phone is a necessity. Trust me, that's what we've been made to believe. Because before there were cell phones, we still functioned probably at a higher level, at a higher frequency. We functioned a little better. We communicated with each other a lot better because we were forced to talk to whoever was right there. And then when we got home, you got up on the phone and still, talk to people again. Communication was a little different back then. And it still could be this day. Now, like, Corey, Facebook was down for 24 hours a few weeks ago. People lost. I know. And for a minute, I was one of those people because I was like, oh, I need to post because I'm supposed to post. But do I really need to post? Not necessarily. Yes, I'm running a business. Yes, it's vital for my business to be out there. But for 24 hours, people ain't going to miss that. No Candy Crush. There was no Candy Crush, but did I need Candy Crush? No, because there were puzzles. There were puzzles that I could physically touch and put together. That's the difference. Candy Crush is a puzzle game. When's the last time you purchased a puzzle? Like, people who like putting things together and making things work. When's the last time you bought a puzzle? Like, I remember I used to get the 1,000-piece puzzles and put them together and, leave them put together. And like, when you got into the intricate parts of trying to piece the middle together without really looking at the box and trying to force the pieces to go in, like, you don't need Candy Crush for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What else is there that we're chained to, believing that we need, but not necessarily need? I'm just saying that these are things, materials that are extras, but not a necessity. Think about it, guys. Like, I know it may sound crazy to you, but are they truly a necessity? Do kids need to really have that much uh that much reason to call somebody often? No. You got your nucleus of friends right there. Go hang out with them. right? Go hang out with people on your level. Go. I mean, I know the world is a lot different, but when we were growing up, for all of us have grown up. But when we were growing up, I'm pretty sure the adults above us were saying, "Oh, things are terrible." And then when you look back when you were a child, you're like, "It wasn't so bad." So we're doing the same thing that we said about the kids before, that things are terrible. Like, you know, I know I don't want to promote anything like negative, but I know that kids do kid things. And the reason why they're so advanced is because we allow them to be, in a way, we allow them to be desensitized at a young age. I went to bed, okay, bedtime. How many of you have bedtimes? I know my bedtime used to be like at 7 o'clock or something before prime time came on, before all of the drama shows came on, right? But because we have cable, there's more access to different channels and different things. 8 p.m. A few months ago, my kids love puzzles, but those thousand piece ones are too much for me. I know. Um, but even if we did put our kids to bed early, we're still allowing them to be absorbing different things, right? Music videos, regular television. And we have every right to censor these things by telling the companies we don't want our kids to watch that. But what do? We don't band together and try to boycott certain shows. Why? Because you don't have time? Oh yeah, but you have time to sit and do whatever else that doesn't really equate to anything. We're talking about we're talking about lives, changing lives, right? Changing lives means you have to put yourself in a place where you don't necessarily think you don't necessarily think well actually where you would put yourself in a place where you wouldn't feel comfortable. So if it means a bunch of parents saying, "Hey, cable company, I don't like that you show these pornographic images and commercials during the day when my child could be watching PBS or other things on TV. Censor. Put that stuff after 8 p.m." What, you don't think the band of voices together can't change something? Are you crazy? See, we've become so separated that we don't think that it's possible for us to come together and make a big stomping noise. Yes, you can. Most Asians earn doctorates while in high school. Yes, most Asian children are not allowed to watch television because they know it's not good for you. Those subliminal messages of, ooh, they subliminally message us to be obese, right? You don't believe me? Hello, McDonald's, Burger King, that flaming broiler burger, that juicy bun, that fish sandwich, those French fries. You don't think that's promoting obesity? You don't see them. You don't see commercials like, oh, bite into this beautiful red delicious apple. What commercial you see like that? These are ways they're promoting things to us and we subliminally don't recognize them. Turn your TV off for a week and I guarantee the chaos that you may be having will go down a lot because you'll start to think freely. There are programs on television that are useful to watch. That you will know. But I guarantee you guys, turn your TV off for a week and see what happens. It's going to be hard the first 2 days. Yeah, because when you're addicted or you've become accustomed to doing certain things systematically, you kind of are conditioned to do it, right? Okay, so I used to binge watch Love and Hip Hop. Like there were episodes and series that I did not like, but I just watched because that was my thing to do on a Monday night. But when I turned it off, it was like in the back of my head, I should be watching this. I might be missing something if only I tuned in on. Good, well, there was nothing on there that I wanted to see. But now it's Monday night and it doesn't bother me that I'm not watching Love and Hip Hop. And the worst part is not food. Yes, it's true. That fast food that you never see White Castle really doing commercials. I've never seen a White Castle commercial too much. But think about it. Ooh, obesity, those sugary sodas that we drink, the delicious sparkles of the bubbles that pop up in the air, that extra H HD zoom in shot of that bubbly brown syrup that we love to drink. That adds to our obesity, people. When have you ever seen a commercial about, ooh, let me peel this banana because it's putting potassium into my body, making me strong and healthy? Think about it. Think about it, guys. Or even worse off, our lovely farmers, right? Our lovely farmers who love us so much that they suck us out of everything. We have Medicare, we have HMOs, we have PPOs, we have POSs, we have everything under the sun, right? You have allergies, take Zyrtec so you can run around in the fields again. Meanwhile, half of the times, all of these particular things have been extra they've been pushed up into our bodies to create that because of the speed of the food. Now, if we didn't need to have fast food all the time, right? Maybe if we didn't need to have fast food all the time, we would probably not have mass produced meats, right? Maybe the meat and maybe our cows and our chickens would have perfect timing to actually grow so they're not pumping hormones in them to kill us. Think about it, guys. Now, if a true advertiser were to see this, they probably would hate my guts because I'm talking about things that will help us think more clearly. Sorry, if things that will help us think more clearly and be a little bit more health conscious. You don't ever see commercials about, ooh, drinking this vitamin will help your body, blood flow, circulating. But yet they want to give us quick fixes like Weight Watchers or whatever these weight supplements instead of doing the hard work to get to that position. That hard work means you got to change your mind, your thought process on how you approach things. Healthy food is disgusting, in my opinion. You know why it's disgusting to me? Because I have been conditioned not to eat it so frequently that my taste buds are not used to it. I'm not gonna lie, today I had McDonald's and Taco Bell. Yes, I did. And how do I feel about that? I feel terrible because I could have put that money somewhere else. But I was hungry, I was tired, and that's what happens. Sometimes you do fall back on that stuff. But those golden arches, those golden arches got me. And they'll get you sometimes too. I'm not saying you have to cut things off. I'm just saying let's think about it. Think about it. They sell a 20 ounce cup of soda filled with ice for $1. That is no deal because you can get a gallon of soda for $1. That means like a 2 liter for $1. So they're not giving you any deal. They're not giving you any deal. Um, I don't know. Like, and look at this. This is no better. Like, I'm not okay. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to hate on the advertiser. I'm not trying to do that at all. But we allowed this because we want the convenience instead of squeezing a peach ourselves and putting it in water and then, making it taste fizzy or whatever. Instead of doing that and putting natural sugar into that, we rather have something that's chemically made. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm not saying anything that isn't true for me either, because I'm right here with you guys. I do the same thing too. When's the last time you saw a Poland Spring or Deer Park commercial? When? They're not advertising, ooh, drink fresh spring, cooling, quenching water. No, but they're saying quench your thirst with some Sprite. Lemon lime, but forgetting to tell you that there's other carbons, carbohydrates, chemicals that are in there that will, one, keep you addicted to drinking soda, two, will kill something in your body. I don't know. I have yet to discover that. I have not done the science behind it, but trust me, it's just to help keep you addicted. There's nothing in water that'll keep you addicted to drinking it. Therefore, they're not going to make as much money. You ever notice how the healthy things seem to cost more than the things that are not as good for you? You think that they do that on purpose? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I'm talking about inner city and people who may not have as much money, because it's not just inner city people that may not have money. It's a lot of people that may not have money. But they'll give you the 25-cent juice boxes that's filled with toxins for 25 cents, but then charge you 50 cents for a bottle of water. Do you understand? Like, they put a price tag on your health too. Oh, let me go back to Pharma. They give you a pill to heal everything. Got a headache? Take Tylenol. Got cramps? Take ibuprofen. I'm sorry, take Imodium. Got a tummy ache? Take Tums. Meanwhile, some of those things could be, if you have a headache, maybe go to sleep or close your eyes. Drink more water instead of going straight to a pill. If you have a tummy ache, instead of drinking that, drink some hot water or like more than room temperature water, not exactly boiling hot, but if you drink warm water, that'll help loosen up whatever and make you poop. And if you need something stronger than that, then put a little bit of salt in there or even Epsom salt. Use that. You can drink Epsom salt, yeah. And you know why I know you can? Because if you can sit in a tub of Epsom salt, which is absorbed into your bloodstream anyway, what's the difference if you swallow it? Now, don't take it in excess, because I don't think you need to take that often. But if you have a tummy ache, you sure can do so. How about if you have a tummy ache, mix some cayenne pepper, some lemons, and whatever together, and I'm sure that'll clean you out. Yeah, eat more leafy greens. Whatever happened to the apple a day keeps the doctor away? They don't even advertise that anymore, right? Don't now you understand how they're changing us up to believe that we need to get a quick fix? You know, nothing in life that is worth having is quick. That relationship, that job, that peace of mind, it's always hard work. So, yes, at the end of the day, it's going to be hard work to attain the things that we want and love and ultimately will make us happy. But once you get that, all of that hard work won't seem like it was so hard anymore, because then you have a pattern, a system, and it's all good. Right? Like people like Barty Garbage who make these natural soaps that may cost a little because the ingredients cost a lot for your health. They're worth having instead of getting these 99-cent bars of soap that are filled with chemicals, and some of them have embalming fluid in them. I mean, if you understand what those chemicals mean, then you'll know that some of them have embalming fluid in them. So like they're preserving us to kill us? Does that sound right? Now, again, these are my personal opinions. And another thing, sidebar, remember to like, subscribe, share, turn on your notification bell. These conversations are between all of us, and it's just to help us think more. Let's see what Bodyguard says. When was the last time you purchased a book? I hear quotes that make you say, "Oh, is pretty hot in these." Thank you. Thank you. But it's true. Like, even when it comes down to books, again, and I think I mentioned this a while ago, I don't knock technology at all because technology has done some great things for us. But the fact of the matter is, technology is keeping us away from doing this. The sense of touch. If you don't have a sense of touch, then how are you going to understand what touch is? Books, I have a library in my house with books that haven't been in print since the 70s. That's old school knowledge. I know that's right. You remember those movies? What was it? There was a movie with I think it was something about the road dogs or something like that. Mel Gibson was in it back in the day. And even the Book of Eli. Think about it, guys. In the Book of Eli, there was a point in the movie where the people were burning books because they didn't want people to understand or have knowledge. Again, there's nothing wrong with technology, but we can't completely abolish the things that made us, the things that um, gave us purpose. I don't think our sensory of touch should only be for touching something on a screen. We need to be able to bend your fingers. You know what I'm saying? Get your motor skills going. Turn those pages. You ever notice sometimes like how arthritis, like sometimes I feel with my fingers, they're like stiff. And I used to think it's because I haven't balled a fist in a while, but it could be because I'm always doing this or like this. So me bending my fingers, the mobility of that is decreasing. And when I'm at work, I bend my fingers and I write, but that's for only a certain amount of hours a day. But I'm home or even at work communicating this way. Guys, like when you really sit down and think about your bodies and how we're not utilizing it as much as it could be used, um, you know, we might be in a little bit of trouble. You know, I'm thankful that I force myself to be active, and I like the gym because that's just my thing. But imagine if I didn't go to the gym, what else would I be doing to activate my muscles? And I don't care how skinny, how fat, or how plump or how thin anybody thinks they are. You always can use exercise. Exercise helps here, it helps here, and it helps your blood flow. You don't even have to go to a gym. Like, you don't have to become a member of a gym. You could do simple things around your house. You can even do sit-ups in your house. You can do push-ups in your house. 10, 20, do 40 before you go to bed. Okay, here's another thing. If we have no choice but to ingest some of these sugary killer toxic things, which I'm guilty of doing myself, then maybe limit the amount of time. So let's just say you stop eating around 7 or 8 or maybe 8:30. You stop eating. And the rest of the evening, if you have to have a snack, just drink water. right? Just drink water. Does that sound crazy? Absolutely, because you're not conditioned to thinking that drinking water can fill you up and quench your desires. We don't always have to, our mouths don't always have to be chewing or feeling like, okay, I feel fulfilled because I just ate something. You don't have to. Think about babies. We're the ones that introduced them to foods, right? We're the ones that introduced them to having a diet. If they could live off of milk, and they say there's a lot of nutrients in milks, if they can live off of milk for the first year of their life and then maybe start to, eat a little solids that we present to their diets, then you can train them to be eating healthy. Even at school, you can train them to do that. Send them with a lunch, send them with a bag. And yeah, then they'll probably look at their friends, but then that's up to us to talk to them and communicate to them why you think that it's best that they do something different. The mind is mine to be mined. It's a matter of the mind. It's true. It's true. It's true. Send your kid with the apples. Send your kid with a banana. Shoot, tell them, hey, this is the coolest thing you could do. Eat fruit. Eat healthy. Well, what about the other kids? They have bags of chips. That's fine. But they don't know what you know. They don't know that your mind is going to be more strong. Your mind is going to be stronger. Your mind is going to be more resilient. Your body is going to be more resilient to all of these different ailments like allergies. We eating dairy every day. Like, I'm a chip fanatic. So again, I'm talking to myself. I eat dairy off the chain. Cheese doodles, Doritos. Yes, I'm guilty of them, but I conditioned myself to those things because I did. But there are times when I stop eating them, and I can do it for a while, but then that trigger. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not saying that we can be perfect beings, but I'm just saying all of these things that we've been taught are a necessity. They are not necessarily necessary. They're not necessary. What is necessary is having a healthy mind, is treating each other good, treating yourself good. Meaning, when you're having a down day, you need to tell somebody. I don't care who you are. You are not the strongest person in the world. If you thought that you didn't need people or need to express your feelings or express how good or bad you're feeling, then you need to go on an island by yourself. That's not what we were created for. We were created for each other. Relationship is not just one person by themselves. Relationship is people together, coming together, working things out together strategically. The foods we eat impact the usage in the pineal gland. It is very true. It is very true. It is very true. It's a lot to think about. It's a lot to absorb. But all we have to do is just one day at a time. Just, cut back on certain things. One day at a time. Just cut back little by little. You're not, and again, anything good or worth doing, it takes time. So it takes time to recondition yourself in eating differently. It does. You can't binge stop. I mean, unless you have a will that strong, you can't binge stop stuff. You can't. You need to wean yourself off or even just curb certain things. If you can curb it, then you can conquer it. So, what did we talk about tonight? We talked about the importance of having a healthy mind, the importance of not being chained to certain things that advertisers tell us we need. We've learned that we need to start using our bodies more. We've learned that the foods that we eat are not necessarily good for us. and that they may be filled with a lot of toxins. We learned that we can get healthy soaps from body garbage. We've learned that to live this life is not to live it alone. It's to be together, to share common things, to empathize with each other, to just heal with each other, to lean on somebody's shoulder when you need it. This is what we've learned tonight. And you guys have helped me learn that too. So again, make sure you like, subscribe, share, and also turn on your notification bell. I hope that we learned something together. I hope that the things that I've said that I can actually put to action myself, because I don't want to say things in vain and think that, oh, it's just for you. It's for me as well, because we're in this together. We're communicating together. We're doing this together. We want the world to be different, so we're doing this together. So anyway, thank you for tuning in for another episode of Hello World. It was great having you guys. I'm so thankful for your support, and I hope that you have a beautiful evening, a beautiful night. Until we join again tomorrow around between 7 and 9. Thank you again, and peace out, and I'll see you